What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for all of your Lakers and NBA talk. And let me be honest, I was planning on doing a different video tonight. I was hoping to do a playoffs preview video for the Lakers because I was banking on them beating the Timberwolves today in convincing fashion, seeing that two of their top players were out. And I was going to do this video on how the Western Conference is now shaping up so that the Lakers may potentially make a run. But as you can see from the title of this video, that is not going to be the case. And I never like, calling for people's jobs or, wishing any type of misfortune on anyone, right? But look, this game tonight against the Wolves, this play-in game, it was the nail in the coffin for me when it comes to the current head coach, Darvin Ham. And I got to say, after watching this performance by the Lakers and how multiple occasions they try to throw this game away, I just don't think he's it for the head coaching position for this franchise. A franchise that is rich in history with winning championships and making it to the finals. A team that has one of the all-time greatest players, maybe the greatest player of all time in LeBron James. I mean, it's somewhat arguable, right? And he's still performing at a top level, right? Averaged 29-30 this season, and tonight had a fantastic game. 30 points, and he was almost mistake free. And yet I see a Lakers team in spite of having a guy like LeBron James and an elite talent in Anthony Davis, I see a team that is lacking discipline, full of mental lapses, inconsistent when it comes to effort and energy. And this is the 83rd game of this season. This is not just like a sleepy Sunday night game in December or right before the All-Star break, right? This is the play-in game with dire consequences. I mean, this is supposed to be treated as a do-or-die game. And yet, we're committing so many careless mistakes. I don't know. I can think of 4 off the top of my head in this game, right? Austin Reeves. And I'm not here to slate Austin Reeves, right? I love Austin Reeves. He's probably maybe my favorite Laker on the team right now. 2 mistakes on inbounds passes, right? One, he couldn't find the guy and had to burn a timeout, and then in the second inbounds pass, he turned it over and forced LeBron to foul Taurean Prince. And thank God we had a foul to give at that point, right? You have the obvious one, Anthony Davis fouling Mike Conley with 0.1 seconds left on the clock when the Lakers were up 3 after LeBron made a great outlet pass to Dennis Schroeder in the corner, and he buried what was supposed to be the game-winning 3. I saw LeBron James isolated on Karl Anthony Towns numerous occasions when he was on 5 fouls, and instead of driving at the rim and forcing Cat into a compromising position, potentially getting his 6th foul of the game, he settled for step-back jumpers. LeBron James himself fluffed an inbounds pass almost, right? So there were so many mistakes, and it seemed to me like Minnesota was a veteran team and the Lakers were the inexperienced one, right? Contrast that, and I looked at the Wolves team, right, and I saw a team that was well drilled, that had players that played within themselves, that took advantage of favorable matchups all throughout the game, and despite Karl Anthony Towns, their best player, picking up his 5th foul with like half of the 4th quarter to go, didn't pick up his 6th foul, right? And these mental lapses, right? The lack of energy, the messing up in the last minute of games, like it's still happening now. And I know that a lot of people will just look at this game and be like, Anthony Davis fucked up, right? He potentially ruined this game for us. But if these mistakes are happening time and time again, I got to look at the coaching staff. They're not correcting this. There is a culture of not being mentally sharp, of not being switched on throughout an entire game in this Lakers team right now. And I have to look at Darvin Ham and saying, what are you telling your guys? Why are they continuing to make mistakes? Why are the leaders of the team continuing to make mistakes? It's not just, the younger, inexperienced players. It's everybody on the team. And so this is a coaching issue. And I think I've seen enough. I don't think this Lakers franchise is ever going to win a championship with Darvin Ham as the head coach. I really don't. And that might, a Lakers fan might hear me saying this and say, why don't you back the team? Why are you being so negative? Why are you being such a hater? But I got to keep it real. Like, there's enough evidence throughout the course of this season that there is a culture of just not being fully focused. And I think it's a head coaching issue, right? So yeah, this was the fifth game in a row, mind you, that this team has lacked killer edge, right? Starting from that Jazz game in Utah when we had a 10-point lead with like a minute and a half to go and they somehow forced overtime, right? It happened there against the depleted Phoenix Suns team who rested their top four players. That was a struggle for 40 minutes. And then in the last half of the fourth quarter, the Lakers pulled away. The game against the Clippers, which was a pivotal game in terms of playoff seeding, just got boat raced, right? I mean, the final score made it look much closer than the game actually was, right? The Clippers were like up by double digits for most of it. And then the last game against Utah at home, when they were resting a bunch of their players, that was a struggle in itself. So this was the fifth straight game that the Lakers were lacking energy. And I think tonight against the Wolves, Darvin Ham got bailed out once again because the Lakers had superior top-end talent in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And Minnesota had Karl Anthony Towns with 5 fouls for the last 10 minutes of the game. A young Anthony Edwards that, needs to get more experience under his belt. And a team that was without their two best defenders in Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels. So let's remember, just 2 days ago, the Timberwolves were like the laughingstock of the NBA, right? On that final day of the regular season, right? Jaden McDaniels punches the wall, breaks his hand. Rudy Gobert punches Kyle Anderson and gets himself sent off by his own team for the rest of that game and suspended for this one. The Wolves had every reason to lose convincingly in this one, and I don't think any of the players would have been to blame for that. And yet, they looked like the one that were the more relaxed, the more composed team. They were away from home. And yeah, I thought there was a stark contrast in how, both teams played for the majority of it. And yeah, like I said, I think this team just got bailed out because the Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and the Timberwolves were shorthanded and had one arm tied behind their back with Cat's foul situation. So very fortunate to get this win. I guess I shouldn't be like too negative in this video, and I will say that now that the Lakers have the 7th seed, they're going up against a Memphis Grizzlies team that won't have Steven Adams, their starting center, that won't have Brandon Clark, one of their key contributors, off the bench. And so I think out of all the possible first round playoff matchups, the Lakers will take it, right? They wouldn't want to have faced the Phoenix Suns. That would have probably been a thrashing, let's be honest. The Clippers have had the Lakers number over the past 2+ years, so they didn't want that matchup either. Maybe they did. I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't travel against the Clippers, so maybe, but I don't think so. And then the Warriors, you know, with all the championship pedigree that's still on the roster, I don't think that would have been the best matchup either. So, out of a bunch of possible first round playoff matchups, the Memphis Grizzlies is probably one of the better matchups the Lakers could have asked for. Now, I by no means am saying that it's going to be an easy playoff series. Not at all, because for some reason, I mean, point guards kill this Lakers team, right? I've talked about like lack of discipline, mental lapses. If you have a floor general that and a point guard, a lead ball handler that is a killer in John Morant, that's going to cause a lot of problems. And let me just say right now, their backup point guard, Tyus Jones, one of the best backup point guards in the entire NBA, if not the best. And he has all the potential to destroy this Lakers team as well, right? So this is going to be a very tough matchup. I don't want Lakers fans to get carried away just because there's no Steven Adams, because there's no Brandon Clark, right? They still have John Morant. Desmond Bane is a baller, okay? I think he averaged 20 this season. Jaren Jackson Jr., right? When he's not in foul trouble, he is a handful to deal with. So plenty of firepower still on this Memphis roster despite the injuries. So it's going to be a very tough series. But I will take the Lakers' chances more in this series than a lot of other first round matchups. So I guess it's on to Memphis now. I don't even want to look past it at this point, right? Because this team, as far as momentum goes, yes, we got a bunch of wins, but the performances have not fully been there, right? I don't remember the last time the Lakers put together a full, complete 48-minute performance against a team. Maybe that away game at Houston, who I think they have the worst record in the Western Conference, right? So it's hard to remember their last really good game. Maybe the one at Minnesota a couple of weeks ago. That was probably the last really good Lakers performance. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's about survive in advance for this play-in tournament, but something needs to change drastically in the next couple of days heading into this Memphis series, because the same old mistakes are still there. Closing out games, closing out quarters. I mean, how many quarters have we seen ending poorly for the Lakers, right? The first half tonight against Minnesota, that could have been disastrous. Lucky for us, the team rallied back a little bit in the third quarter, and then Cat picked up his fifth foul pretty early. But yeah, things need to change in short order here for the Lakers if they want to have a chance at beating the Memphis Grizzlies, which I think is going to be a very difficult matchup. And let's just hope that some of these players get right sooner than later. D'Angelo Russell, horrid game, right? He had a nightmare tonight. 1 for 9 from the field. Think he what? How many points did he end up with? 2 points. Got benched in the fourth quarter, right? And this is our starting point guard. To be fair though, I think this game had Dennis Schroeder written all over it, right? Based on that last game in Minnesota, but D'Lo showing being a no-show tonight, not the best sign moving forward. But yeah, I think the point of this video is, look, I have very, very little. I've lost my faith in Darvin Ham, honestly. I don't think he's it, and I just don't think the Lakers are going to ever win a championship with him being the head coach. He's a first-time head coach, a rookie head coach coaching the Lakers. When has that ever worked out? I'll tell you, the only time it's worked out has been Pat Riley, and he won the NBA championship in his first year. Is this team going to win the championship? Maybe that's what it will take for me to change my mind on Darvin Ham, because we've seen Luke Walton. He wasn't it. I don't know. How many first-time head coaches? There haven't been many, right? Yeah, I can't even think right now. But Luke Walton wasn't it. Darvin Ham, I don't think he is it either. And these are, you know, examples of rookie head coaches for the Lakers. So, yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm jumping the gun by saying Darvin Ham shouldn't be the head coach of this team? Please tell me why. I'm open to being convinced otherwise. But the Lakers survive. I think that's the appropriate word. They survive, get the 7th seed, and now on to a first round matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies team. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Let me know your comments, thoughts in the comments below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for your Lakers and NBA talk. Take care, and I will see you soon.